Hello and thanks for joining me for another episode of the Outback Pawn Shop in vanilla Kenshi. So in the last episode, it was pretty much business as usual, just doing some stuff around, restocking our shelves. We did encounter the city heroes and got in a little bit of combat experience, some starving vagrants. The manhunters decided that they wanted to take me as a slave, so I ran away. And then I come back and knocked out the one that was chasing me and took his stuff. And we're so able to take on skimmers by ourselves now. But pretty slow day as far as sales are concerned. Now we do have this Traders Guild caravan here, but they typically don't buy a lot. He is shopping, but probably doesn't have money. So if you are joining me for the first time, the only way that I'm allowed to make money in this run is through sales from our shop counter. Everything in here will sell to the right NPCs, and same as this one. This middle counter is more experimental stuff, so I've never ever sold armor. I don't know if that'll ever sell. I don't know if the backpack will ever sell, or the raw meat. These will sell, but not very often, very, very rarely. And I've got partially used ones in there because it makes it a bit cheaper. I've sold bolts, but not necessarily in this area. What's going on down here? So we've got starving vagrants over here. We'll join in on that. Too late. Oh well. Let's go and grab stuff. Alright. Let's knock that guy over. Let's heal these guys up so that they'll do more fighting. Fighting's good for business. It encourages our customers to buy medical supplies. But that caravan is heading off. Let's see if these guys have got anything. So, weapons and armor don't really sell in the shop counters. Or at least I've never been able to sell any. But we will take any of the metal items because we'll melt them down for iron. So yeah, if, as I was saying, joining me for the first time, I'm not allowed to go up to a trade caravan and sell stuff to them. I can buy stuff off them, but I'm not allowed to sell to them. I'm not allowed to take stuff into shops and sell it. I'm not allowed to hand in bounties. I'm not allowed to sell slaves. The only way that I'm allowed to sell anything is through our shop counters, which means customers have to come to us. So far we are doing okay. But basically most of this stuff is only going to sell to the Western Hive caravan when they come. Got a mercenary here doing some shopping, but he probably can't afford anything. They will sometimes buy alcohol and medical supplies. Who have we got rolling up here? Tech hunters. Tech hunters are normally going to buy something. Sometimes they'll buy these gears, but they'll probably buy the alcohol and food. Not a lot, but got to take the little sales as well as the big sales. So the most expensive item that we've sold so far was about, I think it was about 19.5k. But it's very rare to sell something like that. Most of the caravans and NPCs do not have that much money on them. So at the moment he's just on autopilot. We only have the one character solo run, and he's just doing all these jobs, which is basically farming, making alcohol, sometimes making food. That in there. A bit of research, making medical supplies, farming. And while we could easily just take a trip, so I'll show you where we are. We are right here. That's us here. This old village is these cactus farms, which I'm using 2 of those cactus farms. I could use them all, but I'm only using 2 because I don't want to, as a single character, I want to spend all my time just farming cactus. These buildings also belong to that. We could easily go into one of the nearest towns and steal a bunch of stuff that we can put in the shop counter. But while we are not here, we are not selling anything. So we're missing out on sales when we're away from home. So I have been, the last couple of episodes, we've done pretty much the same thing. We've just hung around getting our produce done and waiting for sales caravans. Previous to that, I was doing a lot of this grinding off screen, or off camera rather, without recording it, but was missing a bunch of shenanigans. But now that I am recording it, none of the shenanigans are happening, so we'll see if this episode brings anything a bit more enjoyable. Who are these guys? Still the tech hunters. Who's this down here? Just some starving vagrants. That one's missing a leg. Alright. Just got a few things that we're researching that we probably won't really use much of. But yeah, this is not really a combat run, so I'm sort of using technology as just a hallmark of success in the business. And we started this run from the rock bottom start, which plonked us in the middle of this desert around here with no money, no clothes, and missing an arm. And we built all this up from nothing. And the only way that we have sold anything up to this point is through the shop counters. Now we do have a couple of items over here. I'm just going to turn my jobs off for a minute and run over here. There's nothing in here. So these 2 buildings do respawn some items. They haven't respawned yet, so I'll put his jobs back on. These 2 cactus farms are not our farms, so he doesn't always haul them properly. So basically we're just waiting for some of the big caravans to come along. So typically this stuff in here, most of this, the Western Hive will buy. Most of this is sort of general purpose that all sorts of NPCs will buy. Usually like to have some medication in there, but we're sold out at the moment. This one's more experimental. So, what's going on down here? Who's that? Starving vagrants. And Guru. Okay. Alright. Looks like all them Guru took off. Oh no, they're still there. I don't know if we can take on that many. Maybe we can get one to come away from the pack. No, they're all going to come. Alright. Let's just check. Make sure that we don't have any slavers rolling up. Don't see any. So that's fine. If we get knocked out, then that is going to be some toughness experience. Just going to slow it down a bit though. But we do need to be careful in this area, because there are several different slaver factions that'll come pick us up as soon as we get knocked out. But we do need to raise up our combat a little bit if we want to go and get more AI cores and ancient science. I think we've bought almost as much as what we can. There's possibly one or two more places where we might be able to buy a couple. Let's loot these guys before they get up. All that food and leather will sell. Okay, well, it looks like we managed them. So let's pop all this stuff away. Well, looks like you already hold that stuff. So let's pop this in here and melt that down. Let's drop that. To have a meat container here. Alright, all this meat is going to be good. Never have too much food. I've had this thing full down to here with food and it's all been wiped out. And the cheap food, it's always good to have a variety of stuff, because not everyone can afford the more expensive stuff. The skins we will tan into leather before we sell it. It's also going to help us get up our armor smithing skills. Now, I've never sold any armor. I don't know if there is any armor that will actually sell. But the main and only reason that I'm even bothering with getting armor smithing levels up is to craft our own armor. But by tanning the leather, that does get our armor smithing skills up. And it also pretty much doubles the money that we would otherwise get just from the skins. Not quite double, but pretty close anyway. Now I do have him on auto foraging, which is easy enough to do. You hold down shift, right click and click loot. While you're holding down shift, it'll add it in there, foraging animals, but I just micromanage that because there's so many of them and he doesn't always pick up the leather. But I do also have him auto hauling the meat to the campfire and to the food barrel. That's what he's doing. Looks like I did miss one and he went and hauled it. So he's going to be running back and forth from the campfire for a little bit because that was quite the stack of meat that we picked up. Let's pop that away. And let's just take this out. We'll leave a little bit in our personal stash. The rest of that can go in there. So yeah, we are pretty low, or we're getting pretty low on food in there. Let's put our sneak back on. So I'll let him do all this, and doing this sort of thing is really good for your athletics. Stealth as well if there's a lot of NPCs around. So if this is your first time joining me and you'd like to see how we started off, there should be a link in the description below for the full playlist. And I've also done a few other Kenshi series in the past, so links to those playlists will also be down below. So it is still pretty quiet around here. There are some skimmers up over the hill there. Looks like somebody came to do some shopping but couldn't afford anything. Look at these guys. Bounty hunters. They will often buy alcohol and medical supplies. But that is quite a bit of meat that we got there, so let's check this again. And the reason I pause it is because I do have him hauling food. So if I don't pause it, he's just automatically going to put it back in the barrel. And most of the time here, we will be able to restock on meat from skimmers and the occasional guru that come along. There has been one or two times when we have had a food shortage here, in which case we can make some chew sticks from the cactus. But I only really bother with making food if we are low. But this is going to keep it stocked for quite a while. Just have a bit of a scan of the horizon. So usually in this area we'll get hassled by the tax collectors, and they did hassle us a fair bit at the start of this run, which we quite easily avoided. But yeah, then pretty early on in the run, one lone tech hunter took on the whole entire tax collection crew, and they've never been never come back. So I don't know if they've like glitched out of existence or what. If you guys and girls think that maybe I should import the game and reinstate the tax collectors, then maybe I'll do that. Do have a Traders Guild caravan coming here. They never have money. So I'm going to buy a couple of things off them. I don't think I need fabric, but I'll take it anyway. So that now gives him at least a little bit of money to buy some of our produce. I don't know that I'll use much more electronics. At least not for now. Maybe we'll do some robotics later on if we manage to get some more AI cores. These guys are coming up for some shopping. They're probably just going to buy food though. They actually bought the hash. Okay. That's interesting. Because if you look at the description, okay, let's just go make some hash. Some hashish. All right, let's just make one. So if you look at the description of it, it says that the Traders Guild won't touch it. And yet the Traders Guild just bought it. So, okay. So if we look, if I take my mouse off of there, it takes it off. But if we look, narcotics are illegal. Most towns will get you busted if you're caught smuggling. However, the potential profits are huge. The Traders Guild won't touch them. So that's a lie. The Traders Guild definitely do touch them. So let's pop that in there. Let's pop this fabric away. And we certainly could make our own fabric. We have an excess of hemp that we could turn into fabric. But I do like to be able to buy something off of the Traders Guild when they come. It means that then they'll have at least a little bit of money that they can spend on our produce, and we can turn that fabric into profit by turning it into medication. And we do have somebody else rolling up here. More tech hunters. And okay, we've got the slavers as well. So the slavers there will typically buy alcohol. They can afford it. Yep, they bought some grog, they bought some rum, I think. They buy food. They buy medical supplies. They bought the hash too. Okay, so slavers buy hashish as well. And tech hunters. It's like the tech hunters bought a stack of food. None of this is sold. This will go, well, maybe not all at once, but that stuff will go once the Western Hive get here. All right. Yeah. I've made some rum here, so we'll take that out. Let's check out grog. Make sure we get that into the shop counter. Yeah, we'll speed things up again. See if any of these slavers come into our private building here. Come back in here. Who are you? Yep, you're a slaver. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Now, I only do that with the slavers if I'm inside where they can't see me. Which it looks like they did spot me, so I may need to do some running. Yeah, they're going to come after me, so let's run. Let's turn my job off. Otherwise, he's just going to want to run back. It's probably only one that's going to chase after me. But he has given up. Alright. Should be fine. Yeah. Is that the same guy? Yep. Okay, let's have a quick look here. Let's grab that rum out. That first aid kit is already gone. Along with most of that food, how much have we got in here? We've got a stack in here. Let's get all of that out of there. And get it in the shop. Top up my bolts while I'm here. Let's top that up so that's full. Wait till he's all the way inside where there's two coming in. I'm not going to try and do the tech hunter. Got another bottle of rum ready. Let's get that in there. Maybe I might get him manually working on the medical bench. Because we've got a fair bit of alcohol in there. We don't have any medical supplies in there. Okay. Let's get that in there. And somebody just bought that straight away. Who are these guys? Mercenaries. Oops. You're working on the medical bench for a little bit. Turn the jobs off. We'll pick that up as well. That's straight in there. Okay, so made one of those. His job's off. He will stop working as soon as he's finished making what he is making. And of course, mercenaries very rarely can afford anything. Whose caravan is that? Is this a different trader? Bounty hunters. The other guy was Lecco, not Gecko. So let's go. Probably missed him, but we'll see. Buy that off him. Typically you want to try and catch them before they've done their shopping. So maybe a bit late. Alright, put your job back on. Let's pop that in there. Is there anything we can do for 2 books? We'll do that. We probably won't ever use it, but it's progress. And let's get you manually using the medical workbench again. So I think since we added the grog to our production, we it's kind of slowed down our medical production. But what we need is a visit from the Western Hive. Okay. Let's pop these splint kits in here. Try and get a little bit of a stock of medical supplies up. Let's get that in there. So once they've done their shopping, they're not very often are they going to come back and try shopping again until till they've completely gone away and come back again on another separate visit. We do have some skimmer action going on here. Let's get involved in that. And we just got knocked out. Hopefully there are no slavers around. Let's get up straight away. Alright, pop your jobs back on for a minute, I guess. So, do some auto looting. Although we won't loot the claws. Okay, now that beast is unconscious. So I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to bring it inside. I'm going to lock my door so that I've got privacy. Put it down. Oh, there's not much stuff in there. I'm not going to kill it. I'm just going to take its bag. I'm going to put it in there, which is going to remove its stolen tag, along with the stolen tags on all of the items inside it. We're going to loot it, take all of that stuff out. Let's pick it up. Give it back to him. Unlock the door. Get back in here. Pick him up. Put him down. Let's make sure we loot these guys. Alright. Now, there's no point holding on to these. We're not going to sell that many. So we may as well just melt them down. Alright. So there's a bunch of free medical supplies for us. Along with some food. Pop these claws in here. I know we've got stacks, but if we run out of the bigger ticket items, then the Western Hive will buy all those up. If they ever get here. Some more over here. Get this guy. Oops, don't want to first aid him. Okay. Discounter. So it's always a good strategy to have a good variety of stuff. Expensive stuff as well as cheaper stuff. Not everybody can afford the expensive stuff. And who are these guys rocking up here? Huh. Okay, let's intercept them before they buy anything. See, these guys have the money. We will buy a book off him. I guess we'll buy a couple of those and a couple of those. I don't know if we'll use many more electronics unless we get into robotics. Getting into robotics would possibly be pretty profitable. Let's get that meat. Put this meat in there. Got on pause because I want to get everything sorted into the shop counter before they do their shopping. Let's just check if I can manage to click on it. Check the rum. Nothing in there. No grog. All right. Okay. So these guys will buy up stuff mainly out of this counter, but they'll also buy food and medical supplies. Yep, crossbow just went. And a bunch of food. Yeah, they did buy some of these teeth, the smaller items as well. So it'll take a while to clear all that out. That's brought us up to 89,000. All right, so now that we've got, well, actually, let me just check. Yeah, still got some medical supplies there, so I'll just let him do his normal job queues here. Yeah, did you properly haul that? You didn't. Actually, let's just check the respawns over here. Fabric there. Building material. Yeah, we can sell the building material if we wanted to. But I'm keeping it stocked up for if we want to expand, build more stuff. Okay, who is this? He's just patrolling. All right, let's have a look around the horizon and see if there's anything else coming our way. Some shenanigans going on over here. Manhunters. And sand ninjas. None of those guys will buy anything. And the Western Hive has cleared out. Hopefully there'll be another one pretty soon though. Who are these guys? Yeah, there's the Western Hive over there. Stuck out a skimmer. Might just give my arms and legs a quick polish. Keep them fully restored. Our chest will heal by itself over time. And see if we can take on this skimmer. Let's have a look. Yeah, we might be okay. Maybe not. See how we go. No. That's alright. That is toughness experience for us. So we're getting a melee attack up there, along with our katanas, a dexterity, a melee defense, almost at 65 toughness, so it's just a gradual thing, not really focusing on combat experience, but just grabbing little bits of it here and there. Yeah, I bet you left some cactus in there, you did. So it's been a while since we've had some major shenanigans here where there's been like 2 or 3 different factions that have been fighting each other here. Who are these guys? Bounty hunters. Now, if they've got money, then they will buy food, medical supplies, sometimes alcohol. But in this instance, they have no money. Who is this? Mercenary. Slave hunters. These guys never buy anything. And sometimes they decide that I look good as a slave. Let's just turn jobs off for a minute so I can click the right buttons. But we'll take some stuff off them. So we can melt some of this stuff down for iron. We can sell the medical supplies. This guy has seen me. So we do have to be careful with these guys hanging around because we do get knocked out. They will shackle us up. We'll lose our weapons and our armor. The other one's way over there. Okay. Not going to worry about those guys. I will patch them up though, because as long as we've got NPCs to fight other NPCs, that is a recipe for medical sales. Alright, let's pop jobs back on. Actually, let's come over here and pop all this stuff in here. Let's launder those. And get that into the shop. So you can sell stolen items in here. However, if you do put stolen items in here, they won't stack and combine. And who are these guys? Slavers. They will possibly buy some alcohol and medical supplies. Yeah, they just bought some grog. And that's all they can afford. We've got bounty hunters here as well. Let's keep the rum flowing. We do have quite a bit of stock of it at the moment, so I guess it's not that important. But it's always better to have stock when somebody wants it than to not have stock. Okay. This is private property. Come in here, you're going to wake up missing some items. Let's get that straight in there before they notice. Let's get that in there. So see how that just combined with the partially used one that was already in there. If it still had the stolen tag, it would not combine like that. Pick this guy up and put him outside. Who we got here? Bounty hunter. I do want one of the slavers that has a crossbow. So we can get some more bolts and more crossbows to sell. You don't have one, but we'll quickly take advantage of this situation. Let's get that in there. Pop you outside. No, this guy's seen me. Okay. Let's run. Let's turn the jobs off so he doesn't run back. So we've got one lone slaver chasing me. Well, he's given up. He's got a bow too, so let's go snag that. Maybe not. There we go. And we'll take the rum back. Sell it again another day. All right. Let's get over here. Pop that in there. All of our crossbows have sold. Who's that? Oh, we've got Western Hive back again. Okay. And they're patrolling town, so that's why the rest of the crossbows went. All these smaller items. They would go when we don't have so many of the more expensive things. So they are a good backup to have when you are out of stock. It's also good for them to spend their loose change on when they have bought the more expensive items. But we did miss their shopping spree. Let's have a look at our research. That won't take long. Won't take long to pump that out. What's the grog machine doing? Not much. Who are these guys? Traders Guild. Let's catch them before they shop. See how they have 0 money. I'm not going to worry about the electronics. I will buy books and a bit of cloth or fabric. Let's put the books away. What can we research? Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, these are shared, so just because he's standing there and you see the money coming up doesn't mean that that is the bench that he took stuff out of. So he buys all those 99 cents, that is all the meat, I believe. No, it's the medicals. No, maybe not. No, it was the claws. Was that the Western Hive again then? Yeah, because they are still around. And they bought the other crossbow, so I'm not going to complain about that. But yeah, I mean, your benches, they are shared. So you could have a bench over in this building. Someone would buy from it. They could still be buying items from these benches. I don't think anyone's touched any of this. No, doesn't look like it. Do have another bottle of grog ready though. The grog is a bit more expensive than the rum, so it doesn't sell quite as much. We only get like 1 or 2 bottles from every farm harvest, which is fine because I just with one single character trying to keep a diverse range of products. And if I wasn't doing a solo run, then I would just go and recruit some more people and I would have somebody whose sole job was just farming or farming and brewing. Have somebody else that was just doing medical. If I wasn't doing shop counters only, then I would have somebody that just full-time built armor or crafted armor and someone else working weapons. Yeah. Don't have anywhere to store this, don't have anywhere to store the hemp right now, so let's just get him manually using the hemp processor. Are these guys going to buy anything? They're the tech hunters. They'll sometimes buy these gears. They'll buy alcohol. They'll buy food and medical supplies. Let's grab that out as soon as we can. Shovel this in there. Let's pop that in there. And we're up to 111k cats. So, I mean, the shop counters are definitely not the fastest way to make money. But I think I've proven in this series so far that they're not completely useless. I mean, aside from stealing a couple of cats and not huge amounts, the only money that I've made throughout the whole series has been through the shop counters. And we've spent that money on ancient science, we've spent that money on AI cores, we've spent that money on blueprints, science books, ancient science books, engineering tech. So it's definitely a doable thing. But I think different areas, it's going to be different. So I know that crossbow bolts I've definitely sold in the past, but not in this area. And not a lot. I don't buy them all the time. I'm not sure which specific NPCs bought them. But the place that I had an outpost in that run where I sold crossbow bolts was just outside of the hub. Of course, different areas have different NPCs. Different NPCs do have different needs and wants. Apparently, I believe there is a wiki page or something that does actually give you a breakdown of which NPC has specific needs or wants and how much money they have. Apparently, there is a daily allowance that they have which resets. Personally, I haven't looked at it myself. I don't know that it's all 100% accurate. Just going to quickly polish my leg there. But, you know, we have sold some big ticket items. But it's not like you can sell a bunch of them in a hurry. But anyway, that is probably going to do it for this episode. So if you did enjoy this video, please leave me a like or a comment down below. If you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.